I'm Ben Blakey. I'm the founder of Hero Braces. Ideas come from solving problems. Every idea starts from a problem, I think. Day to day, we're trying to either solve our problems or somebody else's problems. And it just morph into, like, how do I fix it? So that's where ideas come from. That's a tough question to answer, and basically because you fail so much and you learn from all of these. So the best example that I guess I can give is our braces, for example. So over 15 years, this was the first brace design. You can see that there's one joint, and then it's morphed into this, and there's so many different iterations that we figured out, and all from failures. That we try one thing, it worked, it didn't work, and then we come up with something else. So if you look in 15 more years, this will look totally different again. I come from a long family of innovators, I guess. So we were always inventing stuff. So great-grandfathers. And one thing I noticed when I was like 8 growing up, my grandfather and my father, sometimes they would have these huge, almost explosive fights over what was the right way to do something. And it was scary at times, but really what I found out later is what they were trying to do is come to the best answer. And so even though I don't think that things need to be explosive, I think we need to remember that conflict is good. It actually brings us to a better understanding of what should be. And so a lot of times people run from conflict, and we've also got to turn into conflict too. Risk-taking is kind of funny because everybody thinks they have a different gauge of what is a risk, okay? So a lot of things that I do, people say, well, that's scary. It's like jumping off a cliff. But they don't understand like all of the thought has gone into it and all of the research that has gone into it. And so it's not as risky for me. In my mind, I don't view it as a risk where other people do. And so it's really important to be able to help bring people up to that point so they don't view it as a risk, or you turn down the volume on the risk. But if we don't continue to take risks, then we don't get to someplace better. What's the saying? The curiosity killed the cat. But it's also how Columbus found North America, and so we have to continue to look around what's around the corner and check and find those different places. And I think sometimes we get complacent as we get older because we're comfortable where we are. And I think we always need to look around that corner and see what's there. So you're gonna find out the world's gonna tell you no, and they're gonna tell you no in different ways. So everybody, as you get older, you have different experiences. You try 2 things, and one turned out one way and one turned out the opposite way. And as we get older, it kind of freezes us. And we don't know which is gonna be which. So the easiest answer is to say no. And what we should really do is go back to that curiosity and say, why did it turn out this way versus this way? And that curiosity helps us continue to learn and grow. Now, you have to keep in mind, as we get older, it's just nature for us to not want to do that. So the first time you ask somebody to buy into your idea, they may say no, but you need to dig deeper and find out why that is, and that way you can get further with your idea and share it with the world.